Good morning, guys. Welcome to FYI. We trust that you guys are great. Share the live, smash that emoji button. We're fired up at this. And, folks, it's another day. We're inside today, folks. We're inside today. Great to have each and every one of you here, wherever you're joining us from. And those of you who joined the program last night, we hope you all recover. We hope you all recover. We try to pack as much content as we got because we value your time. We value that hour you spend with us, folks, and we want to give you as much information when you come on the morning program, the midday podcast. You know, we've been out in the protest almost every day for the last 2 weeks. So we haven't had a consistent podcast over the last weeks because we've been on the front line getting the content, folks. Valid, credible information. That's what we had to do yesterday morning as well. But good to see each and every one of you there. The technicians that are on duty this morning, let me know how we sounded. Let us know how we're looking, folks. Good to see each and every one of you who are there. Share the live. Simona Brooms beat us this morning. She was out very early, around 6 o'clock. Had a live this morning. Use that as my devotion as I started the morning. Was listening to Simona, and she had a lovely song on this morning too. A change is going to come. We're listening to some of that. We were listening to some of that. Folks, wherever you're joining us from, whichever page, whichever platform you're joining us from, whichever profile, share the live, folks. Smash that emoji button. We want as many persons as possible. I even been in the States yet. You all see the accent change. Folks, we're touring this summer. We got some places lined up to visit. Malapande, pace and power. We got some places lined up to visit. The technicians are saying loud and clear. Volmy Wilson, Savannah Page, Genevieve Garcia. Good to see you. Is it Garcia? Good to see you. Michaela Andrew Coates, Dorrit David, Marla Pandey. Simon Greaves says loud and clear. Technician Greaves, happy you on duty. Vanilla Garnett, good to see you. We're happy that you folks are on duty this morning. Wherever you all joining us from, what's in the cup, folks? Right? First of all, we even drinking from cup no more. We only drinking from bottles. Mario Bella, is that it? Bella, Mario, is Mario Bella? Good to have you, Janice Mitchell, certain about that. Donna McDonald, certain about that. Desmond Harris, Roxanne Garber, we certain about those folks. Wherever you're joining us from this morning, folks, welcome. Folks, this one little show, we got 4 monitors. 5. 5 monitors here. We got lights. Make sure you're seeing us clearly. We got cameras, we got action. But good to have you folks on the live this morning. Dan Mitchell, good to see you. Jolly and Ayabo, wherever you are joining me from this morning, good folks. Thanks for joining us. That's what I'll tell you. Thanks for joining us. Put up a cup of something, share the live, smash that emoji button, good folks. I'll call we go down the road. Chanel Wells, good to see you there, Chanel. Jamie Gibbs, good to see you folks. Folks, as you start the day, you're looking for a justice of the peace, a commission of votes to affidavits. Let me grab my notes. Too much notes in the back end. All right. Commission of votes to affidavit. We want to recommend, of course, the Alistair Collins firm. You're looking for a good justice of the peace. I know you guys are out there and all day long. You all are, doing your business and so on. And oftentimes are not. People are in need of a good justice of the peace. A commission of votes to affidavit. We want to recommend the Alistair Collins firm, folks. They are reliable and professional. Reliable and professional for all your documentation needs. Himself and his team, folks, they understand what is the role of a commission of votes and affidavits, a commission of votes to affidavits, a justice of the peace, and they would love to help you. Conveniently located at the Callion Mall between Camp and Waterloo Streets, folks. You can get them on 649-6410 between Camp and Waterloo on Lamaha. Between Camp and Waterloo on Lamaha, 649-6410. With years of experience, guys, and a commitment to excellence, Alistair Collins and his dedicated team are your go-to experts for all your documentation needs. Yep. Commission votes to affidavits just to the peace. You go down here to Cali Mall, it's right in the ground floor. As soon as you go in, you should see the sign there. As soon as you go in, ask anybody should go in. Cali Mall there, Lamaha Street between Camp and Waterloo. Soon as you go in. Yep. So that's where we're starting this morning, folks. But good to have you guys on the live. Gilali Cook, we see you there. Yolanda Thomas, Dan Fordyce. Good to have you folks there. We're touring this summer, folks. And you know what? We're taking you guys along with us. We're on tour this summer. We're touring. We're touring. I tell you all, when we start doing we thing, don't come around, we funny. A lot of people don't have nice time already. A lot of folks already had nice time. See, y'all, don't worry about us. Right? Don't bother with us. We got a long way to go, folks. And we got a lot of things to get through. A long way to go. And we got a lot of stuff to get through. But we're happy that you guys are here with us. And you know where we started in the morning from? We started in the morning from, we're still trying to wrap up local government elections. We're still here, Dolly and Princess Diane, Majesty, Grace James, Gilali Cook, Michaela Andrew Coates. We're still trying to wrap up local government election, believe it or not. Believe it or not. We got a couple of things here we want to share with you folks. A couple of things here we want to share with you good folks. How are you doing, Amit Seatal? How are you doing, Gloria Chester? Gloria, how are you doing? Gloria, I ain't seen in a couple of days, you know. It's a couple of days I ain't seen Gloria. I hope you're good. I hope you're in the hobby of good, Gloria. Laverne, Harry, Chiran, Kelman, Pizan, folks, is one person. Laverne, how are you doing? Good to see you. Bella Mona, how are you doing? Good to see you, Bella and Carol Rollins. Where is Mia? Where is Mia, Miller, and all the other folks? Grace Noel, and I see we got Carol Rollins is here. Bernadette, Patricia, Miller. Well, Mia right here. Like I talk too fast. Mia, how are you doing, dear? Good to see you in that front. Edward Gonzalez is here with us from the Bronx. Good to have all of you folks on the live. We're ready to go. We're fired up. Do let us know if you're hearing us loud and clear. You know, that's such a waste time, people. Going back by City Hall, they're telling us Chase Green going. For what good reason? Robin, Osman, Eric. For what good reason? Chase Green has been at City Hall at least 40 years. At least 40 years. Like Gail this year, I grew up as a little boy, knowing Chase Green City Hall. She's still there. She's still there. When your time comes, she'll get you a front plot by the, where they got a statue of the fellow, Governor General or somebody there. They got a ship plot down there. You say, funeral somebody, y'all want, you know, Gail. Chase Green, when the all time comes, whenever it comes. You know, for what good reason? Edward Gwyneth Gale, Grace Noel, Rochelle, for what good reason? Chase Green has been there for 40 years, has not done anything. Oh yes, I apologize, the parking meters. That's her claim to fame. The infamous parking meters. That's the claim to fame. That's the claim to fame. Trisha Richards going back. I thought Richards was soundly defeated. Right? Richards going back to do what? To do what? Then they do nothing. Waste time. Well, they're supposed to be doing the work of a councilor. Huh? They're talking to Jack, he talking to them. Before they're doing the work of a councilor. So what are they going back for? Waste time. Waste time. Right? How about I say, Trisha, go to the front. You're when the salon. Right? Here when the salon. 40 years she is green in the council. What is she going back there for? What is she going back there for? When I was sworn in as deputy mayor of this great city of ours, I took my son. He was very young then. John Pierre took him very, very young. I was his age. But I know Chase Green going to City Hall. Sit down there 40 years. Tracy Clark. Vanessa Wardin, 40 years, she said down there. Gil guys and Vesta Hardy, 40 years, doing nothing. Wasting with damn time. That's what they're doing. Absolutely nothing. But Chase going back there. Going back there. Selling dreams. But selling dreams more bad now. Since they switched to the red. Selling dreams more bad now. Y'all boy Jagdio was in Lane Avenue recently too. Lane Avenue, selling dreams as well. BHS Selby, Edward Brooms, Robin, selling dreams. You know the selling dreams when things you entitled to, them boys come for sell you. They would sell you your own house that you got title for. Own house that you got your transport for. That's the kind of dreams they're selling. Rudy Hines. Rudy, no. She's going to do nothing at City Hall. She's going to be an albatross around the neck of those who want to move things forward at City Hall. Mentor and the others. Kibwe and the others. She going as an albatross around the neck. So as I said, Jackie was in Lane Avenue on Monday, I think it was, CARICOM Day. He ain't got time to CARICOM. From CARICOM. He doesn't have time for that. You would think they would have something here locally in which they're observing the 50th anniversary of CARICOM. You know, the signing of the Treaty of Chaguaramas. You got time with that? Busy in Lane Avenue, selling dreams. Selling dreams. And we call up one of the councillors there. Call up this dynamic young lady. Councillor Anika, call up her on the ground there. You know? And this is what councillors can do. It's your community. Because people come in, you must dress back. Because people come in, you must stay to the side. Liam Blair, Dolly Anderson, Marcia Agard, Gail Giles, Gwyneth Anderson, you must stay to the side. No way, Jose. So a councillor was there. Listening. Listening. But she walk with your holy water, she can't concern. She ain't gonna fall pray to them vampires. She ain't gonna let them vampires bite she. She ain't gonna let them do that. But our councillor was there and we asked her impression. We asked her impression of some of what she heard. The false promises. They're only good really and truly for friends, family and favorites. You know? She was just sitting on the council, Chase Green. Since this government took over, this installed cabal. You know? If Jack Joe like them as people, why couldn't they give the help to the constituency? Irregardless if they're APNU councillors. You see the kind of wickedness we have happening? When we spoke to one of the councillors for that area, we spoke with one of the councillors. And here is what she had to tell us. Take a look, folks. Take a listen. Share the live. Smash that emoji button, folks. We fired up a listen and we are ready to go. Here's what one of the councillors for that area had to tell us.
My thoughts today as I make my way into the crowd that only a few knows me. The vice president is here, and I know with all the dreams that he's selling them is because of the fact they have the resources to do so with our money. And I want the people of Lane Avenue to understand it's not the vice president's money or it's not PPP money. It is their money. So anything that he promised them to do and he fulfills it is because of the fact he's supposed to do that. He also said that he has $50 million put aside to do Lane Avenue, to make it, to beautify Lane Avenue, as he would say. He also mentioned that he will put in subcommittees to deal with the residents of Lane Avenue. He mentioned Minister of Labor, Joe Hamilton, will be dealing with skills. So he's promising them that he will help them to have a skill. But the point is not having a skill, is that the government is able to give them a job after they get that skill. That's my concern. You're going to give them a skill, but are you giving them a job? Why give them a fish instead of a fishing rod? That's my thing today.
You know, Keisha, this area has existed a long time. It seems for 23 years, in their last iteration of government, the PP then had 50, million cents to give to this community. Why all of a sudden,
All
why?
of a sudden, I would say all of a sudden, the vice president is here to fulfill his promise that he said he made during the elections. And he said something before I answer your question. He said that they have gained votes tremendously. I was a candidate, and I have the SOPs to show that he's a blatant liar. Because the highest vote or counts that Tricia Richards had gained was 24. Let him tell the people that want to listen to the bullshit that he has to say.
The PP lost it.
The people completely lost it when he actually stand on that tent to say that they have lost Georgetown. He finally said it. I finally heard he said it out of his mouth that he lost Georgetown. And he has 11 councillors, and the words that I gather from what he just said is that they are there to torment us. But we are there to put pressure upon them. And we will put pressure upon them. So let them look for me, because I will be putting pressure on them. And I want him to understand Lane Avenue is not constituency 13. Lane Avenue is not constituency 13. Constituency 13 is built up to Paula Dam, East Rumbelt and West Rumbelt. So let him keep whatever he wants to tell the ones that want to wear the jersey to fool themselves. Because if he's to come, what just happened in the election, he will not even tell the people that had on his red jersey did not vote for him. They did not vote for him, because if they had voted for him, like they came out, he would have never lost tremendously. That was a landslide. Or if let's say a mudslide. Because he is telling them crap, and let them continue to listen, all because of the fact they like the glim and the glamours. And that is why the PPP offers glimmers and glamours to the uneducated people. But I do hope that our people realize and understand that this is not today. This is the future for their children and their children's children. I am not standing up here fighting for myself. I am fighting for my children and my grandchildren. So let them accept the nonsense that Barjabio has to tell them today about the promises that he has. He will fulfill it because he wants to prove a point to PNC, or he wants to prove a point to AFNU. But he's fooling himself. He's not fooling a point to us, because we understand that he has to do that. He has to do that. And that is what the people of Lane Avenue need to understand. They seem to lost and don't understand what is their democratic rights. I don't understand. They just listen to what Barrett say. It's like he's the puppet for them. And I'm sorry for them.
I think in saying that, you're saying you're supposed to get roads.
We're supposed to get roads. We're supposed to get garbage. We're supposed to get lights. We're supposed to get all those are things that we're supposed to have. But he said, I didn't hear him mention it just now, but he just said that his 11 councillors, which includes Tricia Richards and Chase Green, bring it on Tricia and Chase Green. I'm here. I am here.
Yep. I hear you. I like she's like a pepper seed. When last you heard of phrase for pepper seed? She ready to fight them. That's what you say when you're ready. Hey, she ready to fight them. Fight them. You concede just like that. That's why the folks that are going out back today, more protests today. Square the Revolution, Coffee Square, 11:30. The citizens' conversation. We got another gap. We got another reason. 11:30. Square the Revolution. Fight them. You're supposed to get good drains. You're supposed to get your garbage picked up on time. This thing happens effortlessly in any other country. In any other country, the council is given the resources and allowed to work. Given the resources and allowed to function. And the people who didn't do that at the time, had the position, had the resources, they knew nothing. Too busy making backroom deals for themselves. It's them going back to council. Chase Green has at least 50 years in the council. Chase Green had at least 50 years on the council. By now, Chase Green got a rocking chair there by the palms, looking out. There by the palms, looking out. She get back to council to do what? To do what in the council? To do what? Mischief. Stymie development on the council. To spy. Wickedness. 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 Trains, good roads, reliable electricity, reliable power. It's what you deserve. You know what? We sat down with Lord Nestor recently and had a wide-ranging conversation. And we said, Lord, you know, you come back and so on. You're visiting us for a little while. What do you think about what's happening? How things look? Good or bad? We don't want to skew. You see? What is called that in research? Skewing the research. Good, bad, and different. Right? We ain't so bad, you see. Good, bad, indifferent. Learning, you come back. I love to ask people that who visiting. I mean, y'all probably hear us talk about it a lot. But y'all who visiting, you know, we crazy here? Because sometimes people want you make you believe like you're crazy. You know, you're like you're a little crazy. Are we wrong? We sat along with Lorraine recently on the same thing, road and water and so on. Sat along with her. Lorraine, what do you think? You come home, you come back here. She stayed though. Here for a couple of days. What do you think? Huh? What do you think? Here's what she told us. Take a look. A political activist, politician, opposite her, teacher by training and profession, exceptional teacher. You know? Here's what she told us. What do you think, Lorraine? What do you think? That's the question we ask her. What do you think?
It's difficult. I want to start with the good first, but it's difficult. It could be very challenging when you talk about the good, because a lot of times you hear people talk about we're so developed now and we have new roads and this and that, and the other. I measure development in people's standard of living. And I've been all over this country over the past couple of weeks. And the squalor in which a lot of people live, it's very painful to watch. And so for me, development, unless you invest in your people, invest in the human capital, because unless you have a healthy people, unless you have a people who are educated, unless you have a people who are ready to turn the wheels for development, nothing will happen. We can invest in concrete trust structures, but if we have a people whose skills are not there and who are not earning a decent living wage, we can't talk real development. So I view development on the basis of how people are living. And from my opinion, we have to do more in investing in our people. Let's talk about, yes, I've seen some new buildings. There are a lot of big buildings in Georgetown, like huge buildings. And I'm wondering who are financing these buildings and so on, who owns them and so on. And so that maybe is a work for journalists like you. If regular folks who own these buildings when the people are living in such squalor. So I want to know where this kind of investment in these big structures coming from and who's responsible. Is it that the government is trying to pump money into private developers? I don't know. So I see that, and if we want to say that is development, some people may argue that's development, these new structures. In terms of the roads, Sharon, coming from the East Bank to Mary and driving along that East Bank highway to get to Georgetown, it's a nightmare. You have thousands of sand trucks on the road, and the road, for me, is a narrow path. And you have all these buses and cars, everybody, driving at the same rate. It's a dangerous thing to see all these trucks, and that's why you see you have all these accidents, and the accidents are deadly because the roadway is so narrow that people can hardly maneuver.
Mhm.
For me, and if anybody's really interested in development and in terms of roads and how we can get this thing going, I am saying you have few roads and too many vehicles. That's my observation. Everybody's driving, and that's a good thing because having a car is not luxury, it's just a necessity. But do we have the roads to accommodate all those vehicles? To get from point A to point B, like I was trying to get from Lama to Starbrook Market on Friday, it was a nightmare. In terms of, like, let's say 5 years ago, you probably took 10 minutes or less to get there. It was more than 35 minutes. I'm talking from Lama to Starbrook Market. The traffic, the congestion, and everybody's hurry, everybody want to go. And so you have all these vehicles and you have no roadways to accommodate them. Again, that's a cause for concern because it can cause major accidents. Everybody's sorry, you want to go where you want to go. And when I asked questions to my friends who were driving me around, thanks to them, you know what they said to me? This is what happens, especially Fridays this time. The traffic, but this is everywhere. And so we have to do something to deal with that.
Are you surprised we're not further along with the kind of monies we're making as a country now
Oh,
with oil and gas?
definitely. Like I said, to see how where's the oil money going? Who's getting, if it is not trickling directly to the people? People can't eat concrete. And so we have to balance the investment in terms of all these capital structure, these buildings and roads and so on, with how we're investing in our people. Are the people getting direct benefits? I know some people were calling for direct finances, direct, payments going to families. I think that's something that the government should think about. People are not seeing the direct benefit of this big fancy oil economy, this fastest growing oil economy in this part of the world. And so we have to, and that's painful for me to watch. Not too long ago, I visited Yarcabra, and I know that there are a lot of um, foreigners, a lot of people from Venezuela and Brazil living in the country, some of them illegal or not, but they have children, and this is where my heart is. And I visited a community in Yarcabra a few days ago. Someone asked me to visit a family. They're Venezuelans. They don't have the necessary documentation, but this is a family, like two families. Together, they have like 8 children of school age.
Mhm.
And I hope to raise this issue with the right people. None of those children are going to school over 2 years now. The mother explained to me because I was taken there also because to translate because I know some Spanish, Sharon. So I was taken there so I can translate so people can understand what they're trying to say. And she's saying to me she came to Georgetown twice to pay $8,000 to get some paper so that the child, she was told to get a paper for one of her kids to go to school. So she's saying to me 8,000 for one. She has 5 kids. The other sister-in-law has like 3 or 4 kids. And these children for 2 years now in this country, they are not going to school. The school in Yarcabra that they should attend, these are primary school children, is not too far from them. So they are watching every day children of their age going into a building that they can't go into. I don't care what is your immigration status, children belong in school. And I'm saying to this government, let those children go to school. They deserve to be in a building where they can learn. In terms of the squalor in which they live, Cheryl, you don't want to see that. They literally have nothing. Whatever little I took, because I did not understand the condition, I could not walk away without leaving it for them. And so that is another dimension of some of the problems we have. I learned that in the previous administration, there was some arrangement made for people who were migrants who were fleeing Venezuela to come to Guyana. There was some kind of arrangement, some kind of assistance program for them. I don't know what is the state of that, or if in fact it came off the ground. But our humanity must tell us that we have to care for others regardless. And these children really touch me because I think they belong in school. So I saw that. That's one other dimension. The influx of migrants fleeing their countries, neighboring countries for whatever reason. I think the government has to take care of that to see how best we can help or accommodate those people and help the situation, especially for the children's sake. So that was disturbing. I'm still trying to look for good in terms of what I am seeing. Um, I drove around Georgetown a lot, and I saw there's somebody from, I guess, the government side, I believe, or a friend of the government, I don't know, who did kind of like a TikTok or a meme or whatever about me. They called me PNC Laureline or PNC Nest or whatever. And they have something on the Independence Boulevard there. They said that I was going to protest, and then I saw this nice place. Part of what they did was kind of racist because if you understand the U.S. politics and racism, they talk about the black face when back in the day when they try to demean black folks, they make black faces of them and they make all these. So it was a blackface image, and then somebody threw some sand on the person saying it was me. But I love it. I love when they try to make me or make fun of me because it says that I'm causing somebody to pay attention, and so I'm happy that they're paying attention to me. But that's not the issue. The image is not an issue. Racist will be racist regardless. But it was a racist image. So they said that I went to protest and I end up at the boulevard, Independence Boulevard, you call it, Palm Trench there. And I was so shocked to see all this development. And I am saying, what are Guyanese? Are we so limited that we will think that a piece of concrete looking thing with 2 bench paint up is development? And I'm saying to myself, is this what folks are saying is good and is nice and developed?
But like you said, you haven't moved the needle on standard of living, cost of living.
No. But then these people are boasting that this little piece of concrete pathway there, that's development. And if we as a people accept that, well, then we're accepting, the very least. Guyanese are not that limited, and we should not accept those things as development. And so I was taken aback because if we're boasting about this, it means that this is all we have to offer. So, and then again, in that same area where you have the concrete thing that they're glorifying, you have people on the other side, the squalor. The thing is high, they try to do the road, it's high like this, and then the other streets are way down. So you're gonna have a drainage problem. And I'm looking at this thing and I'm like, what's wrong here?
Yeah.
So let us as a people not stand for mediocrity. Let us raise the bar. Let us demand more. It's deep.
Yep, that was a political activist, politician, teacher, Lurley Nestor, talking with us there. We talked for quite a long time on a range of issues, and that's the very first part. She was talking about her observation, having come back home. The good, the bad, the indifferent. That's what she was talking about there. So when they talk about little road coming by Lane Avenue, after being neglected by the PPP for 23 years, you're supposed to do that for the folks there. For 23 years, Jack didn't know, two-term president, they know that a Lane Avenue there. They know that. But just discovered that, and he wants a red carpet roll out. So folks down that side, stay woke. Stay woke. So that's how we're following, folks. Finally, we get in some conclusivity. We talk about local government elections. Folks going after City Hall, useless, all used tires. We're now getting a sense of how local government election went. And the numbers were very low. They tell us 34.97 of the electorate went out to vote. Went out to vote. Yep. Thanks, Claudette. Thanks. Folks, Carl Singh is going to go down as the worst GCOM chairman we ever had. The worst. I saw the media asked her about whether she's going to be on as chairman for the 2025 general regional election. She couldn't say so. Just go, Carl. Like Sarah, just go. Just go. Just go. Don't even wait till then and confuse the system and all of that. Just go. Just go to 34.97% of the electorate went out to local government election. That's a crying shame. That's a crying shame right there. That's a crying shame. 34.97% of the electorate. And that's lower than it was the last time. Lower than it was the last time. APNU was able to bring more people out to the polls the last time. This government doing all this thing with oil money. You heard Laureline ask, where the oil money going? Claudette's salary is about $3 million a month. Claudette's salary is about $3 million a month. You want where the oil money going? You want where the oil money going? It's about $3 million a month. That's where the oil money going. That's where the oil money going. Yep. Voter turnout, low. Very low. Take it easy. Still following up on this. The Damla rape scandal. Damning allegations. Damning allegations. You don't know how it's going, folks. You know the whole thing. Yesterday morning started in this way. We heard the rustlings in the mulberry bush. We heard it. Police came out later on in the day and said, they returned the file to the DPP. This is like lightning speed. When they returned the file with one hand, the DPP handing them a legal opinion with the next hand. Lightning speed, no charge. The girl says she don't wanna, they procure some fancy name statement. Right? No further, no go forward statement. Something of that nature. And they said the girl don't want to pursue the matter. And so the GPP said there's nothing she could do legally. You see? 16-year-old girl made damning allegations against a sitting minister. Damning. You know, sodomy, buggery, rape, sex, all kind of madness. Rape. Sodomy, sodomized her. Right? And DP say, all right, then we can't fire them more. Girl went off the radar for 2 weeks. On the tight lock and key, even attorneys can't get to see the child. Even attorneys that the parents procured for her can't see her. Cannot see her. You think you understand what's going on in this country? Do you think you understand what's happening here? The DPP, the PPP, DPP said no charge. Let us return to the status quo. Let us return to the status quo. That's what the DPP said. That is what the DPP told us. By nightfall, Irfan Ali from Trinidad, you know, Sabbath News was writing the other day in an editorial we told you all about. In that editorial, Sabbath News said, this is how the country is informed about major decisions on the sidelines of other events and activities happening. So on the sidelines of the CARICOM heads of government meeting in Trinidad, Ali released a statement. You see? Ali released a statement. I only hear about Trinidad, the accent creeping in. Ali released a statement on the sidelines. That's how important it was to you. You see? Don't have the prep and wait. Get him the man. Laughable, ludicrous. You could tell no serious effort was put into this statement. You know, he keep repeating himself. Right? Damlal offered to resign. You know, I saw there's some prime minister asked, so if he didn't offer to resign, you mean we're going to Parliament with Damlal? We're going to scamp net, bug net, rape net, another cabinet, fish net, whatever you want to call it. We're going back there with Damlal? That's what we're doing. So they started with this. No charge, no case. Matter dropped, dissolved. You see? Young lady wrote in excruciating details, drilled and grilled several times. To date, the government hadn't tell me when the statement, you know. We know what's in it. They didn't say a word that's in the statement. They kept pounding her to retract, pounding her to drop the matter. And of course, at just 16 years old, she relented. She relented. But we relented. How y'all know that? Right? The citizen conversation continues today at 11:30. You better come and mark your name present and be active in what's happening. We're not relenting. That statement is fake news. Why the PPP continues to attract this caliber of persons? The statement went at pains to say, Damlal says he will continue to support the party. At pains, little Zephyr. At pains, and it comes out front parts. It went at pains to say he will continue to support the government. He will continue to support the party. See, I would have been worse off without his support. That's what you're telling me? In one party, you got Kwame, you got Anil, you got Onij. Onij put your hand on the Bible in the National Assembly and swear she's not a dual citizen. I took the Chief Justice of this country to say she was lying on the Waldron. In this whole Damlal saga, quiet, like a church mouse. But only is one of the most dangerous people in this government. Lying on the Waldron, a little stick. Put your hand on the Bible. And then you got Anil. I'll come into Anil just now. You got Kwame, convicted of assault. A convict, you know, he's minister. Right? We heard the tapes with Julius, the crying and the begging. All them in one party, in one government. Barry Ramsaran told an activist, Sharlina Negar, I think it is, he would strip and slap she in the government. Right? Ramatar told that young indigenous boy, if Jagni was here, we'll box you, we'll slap you. All of them in one government. Right? And that is why on the front line of that protest, on Monday, CARICOM Day, you had Christian brethren, Lawrence Hayward, was so incensed. And what he says bears repeating. What is absent from this country, folks, if you don't understand it, you haven't been looking at it in this way, is moral authority. And we have lost lots of those giants, political figures that we have had, who can really bring clarity to issues. We've lost those. And you got a lot of church leaders hiding. A lot of church leaders, instead of going to what the word of God says, you see, they're quiet for little concessions, little tax write-off, little duty-free, for a phone number in a phone book, for inside access. They're quiet. Hypocrites. A generation of vipers, repent. Hypocrites. Generation of vipers. You turn the Lord's house of prayer into a marketplace. Hypocrites. Hypocrites. So there was Elder Lawrence here in the front line, and he makes the point with such clarity, such elegance and eloquence. What is absent is moral leadership from the Guyanese political and social equation. And there's even religious ones. Because when you got people who call themselves popes and bishops, themselves buggering the congregants in their own sadomasochistic activities. Where we there? So it's not only in the social and the political, it's right in the church. Pastor and pundit are like generation of vipers. Lawrence Haywood, Elder Lawrence Haywood, spoke with such clarity. Moral authority is what is lacking. Moral authority. And here he is on that very issue. Quite recently, Monday, on the protest line. Don't know him as a political person at all. At all. At all. But clearly incensed by this particular issue here. And here's what he said.
Recently, I've been thinking of the letters CAIC. Not this time meaning the Consultative Association of Industry and Commerce, but standing for credibility, authority, integrity, and courage. Required character traits at this time. I prefer to start there. We need folk in the land who are credible. They have credibility. I don't mean just good credit ratings. I know they all come from the Latin credo, I believe. But credibility, meaning people of conscience who carry their belief into behavior, their creed into conduct. So when they say yes, as Paul says, their yea is yea and their nay is nay. Credibility. We need that in the nation. In every section of government and every segment and stratum of society. It's a human responsibility thing rather than human rights. Credibility. We need to have a sense of authority. I don't mean being autocratic or authoritarian, but people have a right to exercise power, particularly a moral right. People with such strong consciences that they hear, for instance, the Christ of God saying, all authority is given me in heaven and earth. Go therefore and make a difference in your nations. That kind of authority. I'm not talking about a pecking order. I'm not talking of a penchant for a propensity towards hierarchy and a lot of the foolishness that passes for religion these days, where what matters is what is the seniority of this person in a pecking order. I'm talking about moral authority. Think Rosa Parks, think Martin Luther King, think Daniel Ellsberg, whose story I was looking at just before finding out that there was a session today. real sense of authority, of being made in the image of God. Fearless people, people with integrity, people with credibility to say, let this rot stop here. It pollutes and perverts the entire nation. It's a poison. And those who invest in the poison will soon find that the poison does not discriminate. The Bible says, the curse of the Lord is in the house of the wicked, but he blesses the habitation of the just. It is time for God-fearing Guyanese, the slogan that says, when we win, all races win. I'm not speaking for WPA. I'm borrowing that phrase to say it's not time to keep sheltering under this party umbrella and that party umbrella. We need to be in a place where we could trust God to have the open heaven and he pours some blessing on this land, which we don't even have the room to receive. Something beyond oil, something beyond rare earth, something beyond gold and diamonds, something rooted in the human spirit by which our children grow up. As William Hawley Bryant put it in that beautiful song, born in the land of the mighty Roraima, land of great rivers, far shining sea. So shall like the mountains, the seas, the river, great, wide, and deep in our lives shall we be. Look at the rest of those stanzas, and you'll find that he celebrates the fauna and the flora, the animals and the plants of Guyana, but keeps coming back to the children, speaking of the graces, the goodness and graces, the values and virtues that would mark them out as Guyanese. And long before JFK said, ask not what your country can do for you, ask rather what you can do for your country. That congregational minister, William Hawley Bryant, who wrote that beautiful national song, said, so to the land which to us life has given, may our lives bring a gift. May our lives bring a gift, rich and rare. So might the worth of all Guyana shine with a splendor beyond all compare. I haven't gotten all the words right. But what he was saying, all right, we have the Imataka in the northwest, the Kanuku Mountains, the Pacaraimas in the western interior, hence the reference to Great Roraima. We have the amazing waterways, Demerara, Escribo Babis, Pomeroon, the amazing waterfalls. But the greatest resource in this land is its people, made in the image of Almighty God, made with spirit, occupying bodies, possessing soul, being spirit. And there's no set of citizens so blessed as the child. When we could use, misuse, and abuse our children in one way or the other, whether in dorms, whether in this way or that, we need desperately, direly, immediately to do what the Bible calls repent, to change our mindset, change our ways, and be who we were made to be, real, authentic, human beings. Martin would say, all God's children. Let's live up to that. That is what our Heavenly Father called us to be and to do.
All right, folks, we're back, and apologies for that snafu during that one, we lost power in some of the equipment here, and that was responsible for that. Our apologies on that front, folks. But as we wrap up, you got a lot in the morning papers about this. We saw a letter to the editor from GHK Lal talking about the breakdown in the system. Let me see if we can get the title of that. We've lost the monitor with our graphic on it. A crisis of confidence in the entirety of the system. A crisis of confidence in the entirety of the system is what GK Lal says in a letter in the press today. A crisis of confidence, and he picks up on what Ram Karan, who spent years in the PPP, talked about recently in his column. He said the justice system in this country on the verge of collapse. And when we saw what transpired yesterday, we tend to believe him. So the justice system in the country on the verge of collapse. On the verge of collapse. And folks, before we go, we saw Simona Brooms, who we said she was on the live early on. And we started the day with Sister Brooms. We got to continue, sustain this effort. You think it finished here? Coffee Square 11:30, folks. Coffee Square at 11:30. Coffee Square at 11:30 today. This was some of what Simona Brooms told us on the protest line recently. Take a look and take a listen.
I saw something out there on social media. I think it was on News Source that alleged that it came from the crime chief, saying that the young lady, they don't wish to pursue any further investigation. I don't know what that means, but it did not say that the young lady was asking not for the matter to be wrapped up, finished with, or the statements that she gave before she's asking for them to withdraw it. So I don't know what is the confusion out there. You don't know what to believe. You don't know what is truth. You don't know what is anything. You, like me, were outside of the office of the DPP when we learned that this file is sent back to the police. Why? We don't know. All right? But the public, like myself, we don't have confidence in nothing that is taking place. But what we are asking for, and we are here today, is to say, listen, justice must be served. Damla must have his day in court. Even if the young lady said it, listen, I want to go further, it means that he's innocent. It means that his statement instant. And today we have past judge, so many lawyers, and we're talking about sodomy. You don't have to want to, and you don't have to get all this evidence and all of that. So I'm saying, for me, the decent thing, I would have loved to see the state and the president in this case having some respect for Guyanese and for our women and girls. Sending the strongest message, starting by having Damla removed from the parliament and as a minister of government immediately upon the allegation. But not to come out here with all these hoobly-doobly, including the what we named Nandalal, or what's his name, let me some Lal, Damlal, Nandalal, whatever it be, to say yes, oh, he's innocent until, but there's a serious allegation level against him. And for less than that, we find persons in prison. A judge the other day apologized to a person, somebody who spent 5.5 years in prison. And then they probably come to say we have no evidence in this matter with an allegation of rape. Just an allegation, 5.5 years. But Damla walk into Brickdam and walk out back like a clown. Because they ain't clowning nobody, them is a pack of clowns to say you get put on $1 million bail. I think it is shameful and the decent thing to do. We will not stop. The other day I was outside of the embassy, the US embassy. Listen, I don't even care if I can walk the highway with a placard. Blinken will not come here and then hear about this matter. Because I call upon the US to say, listen, based on the information out there, I'm calling on you to look for child trafficking. I am qualified to make that call. It was the United States of America who gave me that award in 2013. I know what I'm smelling. I know what I'm asking for. And I'm saying that when Blinken come, He must go back and tell Biden that the people in Guyana is saying US we disappointed in you. They silence, we don't like it. Not when it come to our girls. Not when it come to the female in this country. I stand for all Guyanese. Girl, boys, and all of them. But let me tell you, I am passionate with the matter with girls. I see these matter before my eyes. I know what they're going through. I know about these matters. And everybody continue to roll over with it. You know how many children, how many girls out there with rape? And it's not like they didn't speak up and all this speak out and all this drama. And what is happening here now? The state is making it clear to girls. You try with what come your way. Because we said no matter what you talk, when it comes to women instead of innocent, they ain't gonna go to court. They ain't going in the lockup, shift you around in some places like I don't know what. Where is this young lady? Huh? They were buying time to soften because they try it. Early in the investigation, when we saw none other than some so-called commander getting involved in statement to say she wants story and to accept the allegation of $10 million. And so when that one didn't fly, you look in, so they're keeping her all the time. Just to compromise this young lady to step away. But you know what? It will not happen. Damn Lord cannot step away. This government cannot step away. I'm saying he gotta go. He gotta go and he gotta go now. I don't want to hear no statement coming from no crime chief. If the crime chief, they could put wanted bulletin for people for nothing at all. What they could really put out there to tell me that I could believe. What they could put out there to tell me that I must believe. Eh? Not at all. Listen, when I see news from the police, I skip past it. Zoop! Me paying attention to the two times. I didn't want to confuse my brains. What's the next Lion Nancy story is this now? They've lost credibility. And with this matter to come out at this state, and when the public and everybody's out there riled up, when the DPP put a statement and say, listen, I send this file back for more information. I will not be intimidated. One would have expected that the police would have do what they got to do and send this file back. But there the confusion come. But you know what? God will continue to confuse them. All the wrong moves coming forward. Listen, they're in shambles. They're in shambles. They're confused. They don't know what to do, what to say, and when to say it. So the public, we're happy because they're showing the cards and they're showing it early. And we will not stop. And you see what's going on here, Sherrod? These are not politicians. We just made a call a few days. I said on social media, so many persons inboxing me. And I said, today it's holiday. I will come out of the square. This is a wonderful reason. And as you could see, I mean, the police here today instead of protecting us, right? We are here, and I'm happy that as Guyanese and as women and as mothers, we can vent. We can come out and we can make our voices heard. We are the voice for the voiceless. I'm standing here today for that young lady and all the young ladies, all the boys and girls, all the Guyanese people. That voice when you need it. All of us, we can't be cowards. We can't be cowards. And I will not stop. I will not rest, Sherrod, because this is no time for rest. Right? And in this time, I stand resolute. I stand to the call of a nation crying, the call of a child crying. There's a voice crying from behind a wall somewhere with a rag, with a hair tie, with a curtain tie around her mouth. But little do they know that while they tie her mouth out inside here, they got many outside here. And we will stand up and we will continue to make that call for justice for this young lady with this allegation of rape against a sitting minister. He has disgraced us as a people in the Cooperative Republic of Guyana.
Folks, let's get set to head out there again at Coffee Square. 11:30, I'm going to be there. Simone is going to be there, folks. Don't no hoobly goobly. No hoobly doobly. Don't do it. Don't do it, folks. Don't do it. GKH Lal, this morning's papers, the crisis of confidence in the entirety of the system. This is justice system. Ralph from Corantus yesterday, if not the day prior, says the whole system near collapse. And this is the point that columnist and writer GHK Lal is picking up on. He says near collapse is more than a disgusting, more than a disturbing state, rather. More than a disturbing state. It is of a present crisis creeping towards a catastrophe. That is justice system. And then Shalimar Ali Haq, the DPP, and a lot of them throw what they throw at it yesterday. More burdens, backlog, shortages of finders of fact, a barren wilderness where seekers of truth is concerned, possibly much more not thrilling, nothing exciting happening there. The justice system in Guyana. Ralph from Kuran, GHK Lal. Near collapse, crisis of confidence in the justice system in this country. That's what we're dealing with, folks. The PVP and the hoobly-doobly. That is what we're dealing with. Them boys and the hoobly-doobly. We got to go on the ground, good folks. We got to go on the ground. We got to go on the ground. There is no other way. I know before I rush off, Sir Anil talking a couple things. Anil saying how the justice system is not to be exploited. The justice system is not to be exploited for political vindictiveness. Well, this is rich. This is rich coming from Anil. It is rich coming from Anil. The justice system is not to be exploited, says Anil, for political vindictiveness. Well, who no? Who no is rich coming from Anil. He suddenly wake up and discovers this. Right? He suddenly wake up, good folks, and discover it. He's rich. Rich coming from your boy. Apologies there. The justice system is not for political vindictiveness. Look how many APNO folks they pull through the courts on electoral fraud. 2+ years. No convictions. No convictions. And DPN discontinue those matters, you know. But damning allegations brought against a sitting minister. Quick. 2 years, them cases in the courts. I'm going no place. So it's rich coming from Anil, talking about how the justice system is being used for political vindictiveness. Coming from him, the fellow who the CCJ says brought the entire justice system, the administration of justice, and the CCJ into disrepute. The same fella. Give us a break. The same fella who the CCJ said brought the entire administration of justice into disrepute. He telling us who using the courts for political vindictiveness. The same fellow who had for charges dropped. He saw Brassington, Ashley, charges dropped by the same DPP, Shalimar Ali Haq, for 19 fraud charges, Claudette, private criminal charges, all the drop. All of that drop. But 2+ years, electoral fraud cases languishing in the justice system. No convictions, no evidence whatsoever. None whatsoever. But he ran out. I didn't run out, good folks. He ran out. Let's go do this for us at this end, guys. We know you guys got to prepare to come out on the ground. Come, during your lunch break. people going to look back and say, where were you on this seminal issue in our nation's history? Where were you? I hope you could answer. I hope you could answer when they ask the question. When your kids and grandkids ask, where you went on this one? What are you going to say? What are you going to say? You better get something proper to say. Neon Hardin, Nanla's across, Jennifer Griffith, Annette Cummins, I have Natasha, and all the other folks joining us, have the row, and all the other folks. Share the live before you go, guys. Smash that emoji button as well, and we encourage you folks to partner with us. If you know, you know. We don't run on water. I like it. And I like it. The partner with us as well. Folks, share the lives. I like it. Folks, we're scared. Folks said the song low. Good to see you folks. And we're going to see you guys back on our next broadcast. Stay safe, guys. Stay safe. We're going to see you guys back on the next broadcast. Stay safe. That's our time. 11:30. We're in the Square of the Revolution. We're in Coffee Square. No protest. Right? We ain't even protesting. The citizens' conversation. We're going to reason out there. Come around.